Radio Changalo, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. We now present the main news. The headlines: parents urged to protect the girl child. NDC leader apologizes to President Lungu. Plus, Nkana and Napsa lament their losses in her cup games. And now the news in detail with me, Clara Singer. And kindly be informed that we're also streaming live on the Radio Changalo Facebook page. Some mothers in Kitwe have called on fellow parents to take care of the girl child and venture into business to help sustain their families. They spoke to Radio Changala News yesterday after receiving a parent for children in need of protection assistance at the Lothian House. The mothers said parents must ensure that the girl child is not engaged in sexual exploitation.
Bashuka n'abaana bo bakwetenda ekyokukwalisha ndyetotera abafunisha okuboko kwakino kuba tibakwirishe omukyala kibanange kunyuma kwatugenda baisete n'ababebi n'abisa nabo omba kutina ekika ekyondande nanguko batante naliifirwa kumana doko bati bali abaana muli bamawe mwalikyemu afunye nyina wakyala abaana n'obukabunze bali afuna aliifirwa maanda basonga kira kino kulimanda n'okukira kunapira kupirekyera naye Bueno, vamos a ir a partir de hoje, falando da página, nós não chamamos onde estava de novo. Porque eu acho que a página de porque se vai comprar para ir onde está mais onde. De longe xixi, que são que tem bastante na como lá do Zoati. Porque eu até cá durante quando eu não podia na crise de fim do bom meu chão. Tô tendo muito de tocar. Não é nem que eu podia não ser bom. Eu pedi ela lá de tirar essa camisa. Ah, xixi nem isso me podia. O desvio Mônica Paulana, eu falei, bueno, quando eu final eu tenho essa para casa, ela também eu posso tomar, eu gravando, eu posso tomar, não eu posso deixar. Mas quando vai que a pessoa tem que deixar o tipo, que não posso tomar, como não fez. Isso que ela estava trabalhando possível, isso que ela estava aprendendo, não podia ter como não.
Among the items that the vulnerable women and their children received are bags of charcoal, bales of second-hand clothes, soaps, boxes of tomatoes. Among other things, they help them venture into sustainable business. And Ministry of Community Development Assistant Director Social Welfare, Irene Munga, urged parents to ensure that they look after their children, thereby reducing the risks of abuse.
Services has the mandate to facilitate activities that are aimed at uplifting the lives of those who are sexually abused or trafficked under the Anti-GBV Act of 2011, as well as the Anti-Human Trafficking Act of 2008. So as a ministry, we are very, very excited to be part of this activity. This special moment gives us hope that with this empowerment, there is a promising future for our children as well as their families. It is our sincere hope that most of these children, if not all, will be able to get back.
And the International Organization for Migration, IOM Chief of Mission for Zambia, Nomagogo Kube, now explains on human trafficking and sexual exploitation among children.
Is the second highest earner in terms of illicit crimes worldwide, second only after drug trafficking. And that shows how much money is involved in this kind of industry. So what I would do is just explain a bit what trafficking is, because oftentimes human trafficking is misunderstood. Trafficking in persons is an industry or is an activity that involves three main elements. when we talk about the means where people recruit it, we do not take into face that sexually transmitted infection and wanted pregnancy and so on. So that is all showing that it is not just the work of the Department of
Meanwhile, Kitwe District Commissioner Tricia Rubio, who graced the occasion, spoke against any violence against the children, saying that the Social Welfare Department will be monitoring the empowered vulnerable families to ensure the items are put to good use.
You remain with this business and make it grow. Because in one of my succeed in business, if when I and get support. That back on because each of the private project, because young Yamova, then I want to what about interest. Who could accomplish an amount? Nobody want to nishimwakirwa n'abandi no turindire kwakwa because abatabaka tupere indarama nashimye. So lecho tuleti lati bonse ama observant wa development akani komuka.
The Southern African Center for the Constructive Resolution of Disputes SACD is hopeful that the violence witnessed in Kitwe between UPND cadres and the police will not recur as the country builds momentum towards the general elections. On Tuesday, UPND cadres and the Zambia police officers clashed, which resulted in one of the officers and cadres getting injured. SACD Executive Director Boniface Chembe said he is concerned with what appears to be an increasing culture of intolerance on the mandate of stakeholders in the governance process of the country. Mr. Chembe noted that citizens or cadres engaging into fights with the police officers is disturbing and sends the wrong message to the public that when in disagreement with law enforcement officers, it is okay to exchange blows.
However, it is disturbing to see citizens or cadres beat down Zambia police officers and thereby send a wrong message to the public that when in disagreement with law enforcement officers, it is okay to exchange punches. The usage of violence through physical force for any one stakeholder to get what they want does not help our democracy or peace in any way, as the results tend to be injury and harm to people. This is evidenced by the injury to both the police officers and suspected UPND cadres, which results in trauma on their part. We appeal to all political party leaders in the country to prevail over their cadres to desist from engaging in acts of violence and to ensure
the construction of a new Chilemba market in Chingola's Kapisha ward is expected to be completed soon. Area Councillor Davis Malenga explained that major works on the project have already been completed, with minor works remaining before the infrastructure is handed over to the traders. Speaking to Radio Chingola News in Chingola, the civic leader is hopeful that the facility will create a conducive trading environment.
Ishalengere mkwaito alefu atuwike po telazo pama tables nga twalifula kale ero ine italazo kulingana ifo mumule mbona pana pa market ipo mwachipita mwe bakala mwala muno kuchira na tupuisha no kupuisha in the next few weeks na market mkwaito wala isha surrender to pay the community aba community abende bale bomba toilets VIP toilets twalipuisha kale we are using CDF funds ero kabiri na tukwatane shuko la kwa na kabuta markets nayo toilet nayo twalapuisha na ilikuwa almost 75% completion na hiyo ni trefu ya papo tuna Chilemba market na kabuta.
National Democratic Congress NDC leader Chishimba Kambuli has apologized to President Edgar Lungu over a statement which insinuated that the head of state and Varden Findlay were drug dealers. Dr. Kambwili said at the time he was making the statement, he should have engaged the duo or taken time to verify the information regarding the relationship between President Lungu and Varden Findlay. He said it is for this reason that he has unreservedly apologized to the president.
Page as a sign of brotherly love and genuine reconciliation. Further, let me tender my apology to the immediate family of His Excellency the President, Mr. Edgar Chagwa and Mr. Varden Findlay, who would have been directly or indirectly affected by my statement. Ordinarily, I should have quietly approached the aggrieved persons privately, but because the matter has been in public domain, I thought it is only right that I use the same medium I used then.
And United Church of Zambia UCZ Gideon Congregation Reverend in charge Sage Echanga has urged President Lungu to forgive Dr. Kambwili following his apology.
As a Christian, and it's in my prayer, Mr. Kambwili given a party to patriotic funds to also.
The opening of Mpatamatu Public Library in Luansha has pleased the pupils in the area. The library, commissioned yesterday by Luansha Mayor Nathan Chanda, was built using funds mobilized by the local authority. Valentine Mubuga witnessed the ceremony and now reports.
Built at a cost of about 800,000 kwacha, mobilized by Luansha Municipal Council. The library, which has been stocked with books, is accessible not only to the people of Mpatamatu area, but those from Kawama, Ron Township, and nearby communities. The commissioning of the library, which was done yesterday, has cheered pupils in Mpatamatu Township. Mumbi Mulenga, a grade 11 pupil from Nkurumashiwa Secondary School, spoke on behalf of learners during the official opening of the library.
This library will add a lot of value to our academic excellence through research as we do our learning. We pledge that we shall utilize it wisely and we shall guard it jealously.
Luansha Mayor Nathan Chanda, who was the guest of honor, spoke on the importance of a library to citizens in his keynote speech.
Libraries play an important role, especially it acting as a source of knowledge to the young minds. It develops the importance habit of reading among students, as well as impact positively on academic achievements of students during examinations.
Mr. Patrick Maipambe is the Luansha District Commissioner.
Tumwana nga asambiri okula library ati lumwaiti akala posa manu kuberenga okutira okuposa manu kufya kwangalanga abaana abengi bali yakufya kwangalanga abantu tabayisizo fya kusa takwa abafingi fya kusa takwa abafyokulanga obwalwa nefya sala nombe efibaleta amalibrary abaana nga bagomba okusikupira ku library.
The presence of a library in a community has the potential to improve the reading culture among citizens.
In sports, Nkana and NAPSA dropped points at home in the CAF Confederation Cup group stage games. In the soccer, NAPSA gave up the 2-0 lead to end the game at 2-0 at full time, with JS Kabylie of Algeria, while Nkana lost the 10-0 to Raja Casablanca in the game played at Levi Monasa Stadium in Ndola yesterday. And speaking during the post-match press conference, Nkana coach Kelvin Kaindu says his team played well, but stressed that Raja was tactically and technically disciplined. Kaindu, whose side remains at the bottom of Group D without a point, said Nkana lacked experience and depth in the team.
It's unfortunate that we allowed a mistake where we lost possession and we caused the penalty in the first few minutes after second half. I think that put us a bit under pressure. But all in all, I think we looked a bit stable today with the way we defended. I think for the first time we worked after the Pyramid game. I think we've been working on how to defend, and I think we saw a bit of some improvement. Going forward, it has never been a problem. Second half, I think it's just that Raja were tactically higher than us, technically higher than us, and that's why you saw them defending. We had more chances, I think, in the second half. We had more chances in the 18 where we saw the goalkeeper making some saves.
And Raja coach Jamal Selami said poor defending was costing Ghana in the competition.
Ghana is a good team. Maybe in defense they have some problems, but in attack they have very good strikers, because we saw their last game, we scored many goals, and they are very dangerous in the box. That's why we keep very concentrated, and number of players every time we was in superiority. That's why we keep clean our backside.
Meanwhile, NAPS Stars assistant coach Chintu Kampamba said he was proud of his team's performance despite settling for a draw.
In the game, I think we started quite well. We managed the game. The first half, managed to get a goal in both halves. I think the team has improved from the previous game. We almost did, but of course, football at times is some ups and downs. But we're able to win. The draw, which is a point. We have to go back and prepare well for the community. I'm proud of it.
NAPS Stars assistant coach Chintu Kampamba there. This news broadcaster comes to you in the community service of Radio Chengelo with the compliments of Moose Milling and GoTV Broadcasting Zambia Limited. And now the international news is monitored from the BBC. Tanzania's President John Magufuli has died aged 61. The country's vice president has announced he died on Wednesday from heart complications at a hospital in Dar es Salaam. Magufuli has not been seen in public for more than 2 weeks, and rumors have been circulating about his health. The BBC has the rest of the stories from around the world.
President of South Africa has led tributes to the late Zulu king Goodwill Zwelithini at a ceremony in KwaZulu-Natal province.
History will recall that after many years of conflict and turmoil, it was in the course of His Majesty's reign that the Zulu kingdom achieved stability and harmony that had so long eluded it. It was during the course of his reign that his people, alongside all the people of our country, realized their dream of freedom from the injustices of colonialism and apartheid.
King Zwelithini died last week, aged 72, after 5 decades as monarch. His successor has not yet been announced. The World Health Organization has again called on countries to continue using the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine, saying its benefits outweigh any possible risks. A number of countries have suspended the vaccinations after reports suggested it could be linked to blood clots. Hans Kluge speaks for the WHO.
COVID-19 vaccination will not reduce illness or deaths from other causes. As of now, we do not know whether some or all of the conditions have been caused by the vaccine or by other coincidental factors. WHO is assessing the latest safety data, and once completed, the findings will be made public. At this point in time, however, the benefits of the AstraZeneca vaccine far outweigh its risk, and its use should continue to save lives.
Italy is holding its first National Day of Remembrance for the victims of COVID-19, marking a year since pictures emerged of military trucks carrying dozens of coffins in the northern city of Bergamo. The Prime Minister, Mario Draghi, laid a wreath at the cemetery in honour of more than 103,000 Italians.
To end the main news, a reminder of the headlines. Parents urged to protect the girl child. ND leader apologizes to President Edgar Lungu. Plus, Nkana and Napsa lament their losses in a CAF Games. There we end the main news. Good afternoon.
The menu.